and it's their intrinsic
nature. This food basically robs.
Sound like
no matter what race you are, if you are in poverty, there will be crime. The only difference is the news media is only reporting on the black crime, the black violence, the black people having babies out of wedlock, the black people killing each other. They're only talking about this stuff. They're not talking about what's going on in the white community, what white people are going through. They're not putting this stuff all over the news the same way they do us, because it's a racist, biased news media. White America has to understand that there are things they are not being told about African people to keep this whole, cloak of white supremacy gone. They don't tell white people about the accomplishments of African people. They don't show you that we were kings. We had kingdoms in Africa long before any European kingdom. Look at all of the kingdoms that were destroyed by the Europeans. These are the ruins of African castles. Castles and kingdoms in Africa. How many people actually knew that there are castles in Africa older than any European castles? How many people knew this? Look at the ruins of these castles and these ancient civilizations. These African kingdoms are still there in Africa today. They still exist. You have to understand that when the gun was invented, these kingdoms was raided, they was taken over, they was robbed for all of their riches. To keep the Africans from retaliating, they was enslaved. The people who were enslaved, the reason why they was able to come to America and build the foundation of America is because they already had the knowledge of building. They already knew things. The original slaves, the first group of slaves were these successful farmers, the successful traders from Africa. Kings, queens, princes, and princesses who existed long before Europeans. They don't tell you about the Songhai people who had colleges. They had a legal system. The Nook is another ancient civilization who disappeared a long time ago, but they have one of the oldest examples of a higher court system and legal structure. They don't talk about these people because they don't want you to know. They want to divide and conquer and give you this illusion that we were nothing but savages, that we evolved from animals, and they are hiding so much of the truth about African people from you so that you keep this whole feeling and emotion of hate towards us. You have to understand how great African people were before slavery and look into the past. The ruins of these kingdoms are still there. The culture is still there. You can't hide it. They don't teach it in school, but it's still there. They want you to think that we was just running around in the wilderness butt naked, unsophisticated, without knowledge, savages, selling each other into slavery, enslaving each other. They want you to think that we was nothing, that y'all had to come here and hit us on the head, throw a net over us, and drag us to America to sophisticate us and to make us intelligent, to keep us from killing each other. When we was the ones who was sophisticated, we was the ones who had the knowledge. Everybody was coming into Africa to learn, and your historians all say the same thing about it. Tales talks about it, coming into Egypt and learning from the Egyptians. The Greeks, the Romans talk about coming into Africa and learning from the Africans. There's so many stories about the Africans that you were never taught and you will never know if you don't go look. But you don't go look because you already made up your mind that we were nothing and you had to save us. Y'all did us a favor by enslaving us. This is what a lot of white people think and are taught. After the Portuguese and the Dutch and the English came to these African territories with guns and raided and took over and took the wealth from these African kingdoms, they was in fear for retaliation, that the Africans would acquire guns and go back and retaliate against them. And they feared this, which is why they took them into enslavement, which is start enslaving people. As I said, you can't just come into Africa and say, you're going to be my slave or I want to buy slaves. There has to have been some kind of dialogue between the Europeans and these African people. And yes, of course it was. The Africans traded with everybody around the world. They traded with people from all over. They had a dialogue and a trust between them and the missionaries and them and the Europeans. When it comes to trade, they listened to the Europeans when they came with their biblical doctrines, and there was a trust that was built between us, and it was betrayed when the gun was invented, and they came in and they took everything. This is what the facts show. Forget what you feel emotionally. There's no way you can justify slavery. Yeah, we know some black people sold others into slavery, but white people sold white people into slavery as well. Now, you people still don't get it because there's so much hate and jealousy and so many emotions in between these dates. You don't understand that between the American Revolution and, the whole War of 1812, the Civil War, you had black and white people unite to defeat a common enemy. In all three wars, black and white people came together in the American Revolution and the War of 1812 and in the Civil War to fight off the British. What you don't realize, or some of you do, is that we lost. Later, the British would win. 1913, when Woodrow Wilson signed into the Federal Reserve Act, we know they took back America. This is what you have to understand. The America that took place, the America that existed, 1776 is gone. It has been gone for a long time. The America that stands today is the same America that existed before 1776. The people who wanted you enslaved, the people who fought to keep you in chains have taken over. This is why you see so much of the things that's going on in America and all the hate towards black people. Why would they fight so many wars? Why would they fight and die to free us, only to treat us the way they do? They could have kept us in chains and slavery and made money off of us instead of setting us free and doing all this petty shit that's going on now. You have to realize what has taken place. They have taken over this country. We have been warned many times by many presidents about the military-industrial complex. We know JFK talked about the Federal Reserve Bank. People have warned us that this country has been taken over, and that's what's going on. We have been taken over by those same people. We went from white people letting black mothers, black slaves, breastfeed their babies to Jim Crow, and we can't even shit in the same bathroom or drink from the same fountain. Think about that. This is the same master. This is the same evil that we fought against, that we united to fight against. 1776, the War of 1812, and the whole Civil War. This is the same evil. This is the same bank that Andrew Jackson got rid of, that he fought to get rid of. This is the same bank that have kept us in financial slavery, who caused the whole economic collapse, who caused the Great Depression. These same people run this country, and y'all are not aware of it. You have to understand their whole goal is to keep us from uniting ever, because we kicked their asses 3 times united. And they don't ever want that to happen again. And y'all so filled with hate and so much anger that y'all don't see what's going on. America has done nothing but go downhill since 1913. Everything that we got that seems like progress is only to favor them. It's only benefiting them and not us. Before 1913, the central banks had charters. They had charters so that if they messed up America's money, we can get rid of them. We didn't have to use them no more. We can print our own money. Remember, when JFK got rid of the Federal Reserve Bank, what did the money say? It said America notes, U.S. notes. It didn't say Federal Reserve notes. These was American notes that we printed ourselves. It was money that belonged to the people. This is why he was killed. One of the reasons. You got to understand that that's everything. We are talking about this country is being run by non-Americans, people who really don't care about America. Look at every single war that has taken place since 1913. America has fought in because they have used us to bring about their whole new world order. Now, you can say this is all spooky talk. This is all conspiracy theory. Everything I'm saying is backed up and on paper. You can research it for yourself. Just simply ask yourself a simple question. How can America be in debt if we print our own money? Think about it. Why didn't we ever change or audit the Federal Reserve and see what's going on with the money, what's going on with this whole system? There's no way there should be any homeless or poor people in America when our country gives away billions of dollars in foreign aid. That's just ridiculous. And people, we too busy arguing about color, about black and white and dumb stuff to realize that they are distracting us from everything that really matters. This stuff does not matter. They know that if we ever united and came together, we would defeat them. Black people have been given a culture that is not us. We have been given a lifestyle that we think is ours, but it's not. It's something that has been given to us, and we have been tricked into accepting this whole hip hop culture. glorifying music that's talking about killing each other, that's talking about, denigrating our women and treating people like crap. This is something that we have accepted and embraced, and we believe it's our culture when it's not. It's something that is used to make us look disgusting. That is one of the plots and ploys of this government system, to make us look like monsters and animals to the white community, so they would stay away from us, so we would never unite like we did before. They don't want white people to see what we see. They don't want them to see that we are good people just like them, and we want the same thing for our families. So when we glorify killing each other, when we glorify denigrating our women, white people can't look at that and relate to it. Of course, they're going to feel some type of way. How can you sit there and say Black Lives Matter when you promote the violence that's killing black people? I understand that. And I know black people don't like it when we say it, but it's the truth. I'm black and I'm proud, and I'm proud of where I came from. I'm even more proud that I made it out of where I came from. I'm more proud that I'm successful today because I know how hard it was where I came from. There's not nothing to glorify. It's not nothing to glorify at all. They have made us seem disgusting. They have made us seem like we are less than human. And that is the image that they want to pound into America, that we are just lazy. We don't want to do anything. We don't want to educate ourselves. We just want to listen to this music, have babies, and try to rape the system for everything it's worth. If I got all of my information about black people from the news media, then I would hate black people as well. This is something that is deliberate because they know if we ever united again, we would defeat them as we have defeated them before. Now, of course, a lot of you going to have your opinions about this video, but don't let how you feel, don't let your emotions come in and take away from the overall message. You may not agree with everything that I'm saying, but the overall message is a message of good. It's a message of love and peace. And that's the problem. A lot of you want to put your 2 cents in, and it doesn't make a goddamn difference, because this whole thing is really about peace, about unity. If you're not for peace and unity, then please sit down. You do not deserve to be talking here, because you might as well just come out and say you're a racist. Plain and simple, whether you black or white. You might as well just come out and say that you hate white people if you black. You might as well say that you're a racist if you white. Just say what you got to say. Don't come in here and try to talk about the facts, about anything that I've said, because it's of no importance. The important thing is the message. The overall message is we are being tricked. It's not a coincidence that Jesse Williams has this speech. Then right after this speech, right after July the 4th, we have this whole outbreak of shootings. When you go back July last year, you can see the same thing. Always in July, you can see there are always news reports of killings. We know Sandra Bland and I think it was Eric Gray or Eric Gardner or somebody else who also died in July. I mean, this stuff is not a coincidence. You have to be very blind to sit and look at this stuff and think this is normal. The people who blog and the people who do videos like this, we risk our lives, we risk our safety by coming out here and making these videos. And we don't ask for much at all except for support. And we barely get that. The thing is, what are you doing? What are you doing besides putting your own 2 cents and wanting to be heard and wanting to get a like or a comment in on a video or in the comment section? What are you doing to actively involve yourself into this situation? Some people just want to see everything crumble to pieces. Some people want to see violence. Some people want to see us in the streets fighting. What are you doing? Do something. If it's not positive, you shouldn't be doing anything. Keep your emotions to yourself. If you're not trying to be positive and productive in this whole situation, then sit down. Let people who are trying to help the situation help the situation. If you want to fight, if you want some kind of violence, there's plenty of that out there. We'll see you later, see you on TV or whatever happens to you. It's not what everybody wants. People want peace. People are screaming for peace. Will we ever get it in our lifetime? That's going to be up to the people. Ain't no celebrity going to save us. Ain't no sellout politician going to save us. It's going to only be the people. I'm a regular person, normal dude. I'm here doing my part. I've been doing my part for years. I've been putting out the truth for years. It's not up to me to decide what the truth is, but I took it upon myself to put out the research and the information on what I believe the truth is. It's up to you to make your own determination, to do your own research and decide what you believe is true. And as I always say, it's not about me. It's about the facts. It's about right and wrong. It's about the truth. If we did everything based on truth, based on right and wrong, then this world would be perfect. It would be totally different than what it is today. And we wouldn't have these stupid problems like who the hell argues over color? Now, don't get me wrong. I understand what that entails and what we deal with, with color and this and that. But you got to really understand we are arguing over color. It's people who won't deal with you simply because the color of your skin, and they attach this whole label to your color. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. And we got to be the only species on this planet who discriminate because of color. I need to wake up and see what the hell is going on and how we are being set against each other. It doesn't matter what your little teeny emotions are going through, whatever. People out here ain't got no legs, ain't got no arms. People are blind. Are you kidding me? You want to destroy the whole world because your feelings got hurt? Because you don't want to talk about a situation? Come on, stop being selfish and wake up. Now, those kids you hear playing in the background are black, white, and Hispanic. They're having a good time. That's what should be normal. That's what we used to do before we was taught to hate each other. Now, I don't expect this video to get nowhere near, 8 million views like his video did. I don't expect this video to get half the views because it's the truth and people hate the truth. And social media has a way of making sure the wrong message gets passed around to everybody's page, to everybody's channel, to everybody's eye view. I don't know. I could talk about this stuff for days and give you a lot of facts and proof, but I know if I make the video too long, people won't watch it in its entirety. So I just wanted to put this message out in response to this very ignorant video. I mean, come on. You have a black man eating fried chicken saying the very things that a racist white person would love to say. I don't know if it's staged or if this guy is really just this ignorant. I don't know. But it's something I felt like I really had to address because a lot of people don't realize what's really going on in this country. Some people are so filled with hate that they don't want things to be right. Some people want a race war. Some people want to see us in the streets fighting because of the hate they have inside. We can't let that happen. You can't let stupid people bring you down. You can't let stupid people stop the revolution, stop the movement of unity. That's what it's all about. I don't care about everything that happened in the past. I don't care about it. It's done. It's over with. All that exists now is the future for our children, the future for ourselves. We have to learn from the past. When we talk about the past, white people, please understand, this is no knock on you. This is no knock on you specifically today, the white people today. A lot of you stand with us. You march with us. This is no knock on you. We wouldn't dare say something to offend you when you are walking and marching and getting beat up with us and have been doing so since Dr. King. We don't mean you. We mean the white people back then. That's what we're talking about. That's who we're talking about. We don't mean you today. If any black person is saying you, white man today, is responsible for slavery, then something's wrong with him. He's being, crazy. You have to realize that Black Lives Matter means Black Lives Matter also. Black lives also matter. All lives matter, of course. But we're talking about black people right now because that's what's being shown on the news. We got to put this stuff to rest. Finally, people can say what they want. The only thing we should ever go by in our life is the truth and what's right and what's wrong. Now, I want to thank everybody for watching. Subscribe to my channel.